Tonight on J-Ray's Kitchen, we're going to make Kickin Meatloaf. That's right, spicy meatloaf with a sriracha glaze. You're going to love it. Let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is chop up a small onion. And you know how we do. Chop! Amazing. Then we're going to mince up 2 cloves of garlic. Are you ready? Mince. Terrific. And now time for the spicy part. Got jalapeno pepper from the garden. I cut it up last season, froze it. We're going to use it today to make this spicy meatloaf. Now some people use bell pepper in their meatloaf, but I'm going to use this jalapeno pepper as a substitute. And I'm going to chop this up a little bit more. Just the same way as we always do. Chop! That's awesome. And to really bring the flavor out and the onion and the pepper and the garlic, we're going to throw some butter in the pan, about a tablespoon. Let that melt down, and we're going to saute it. So now we're going to take our onion and our garlic and our peppers right on in the pan. That's not all. Some people add ketchup or tomato paste or some kind of tomato sauce to their meatloaf. But to have a little bit more of a chunky additive, I'm going to put tomato. This is 1 Roma tomato, chopped up real small. I'm going to cook it down real good. We may still add some ketchup to the mix, but for now, that's where I want my tomato flavor to be from. Now we're going to go ahead and get this stirred up. And we're not going to cook this for real long. Just going to kind of saute it enough to get some of that onion and pepper softened up. We don't want to start browning this. It's going to be in the oven for nearly an hour. It'll get cooked plenty in there. And while this is cooking, just to help bring out some of the flavor, I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And throw some pepper in here too. We'll add more to the actual meat mixture in just a moment. Okay, so it's been cooking for about 5 minutes. That's all I want to do. It's softened up some. We're going to remove it from the heat and set it aside. Now we've got 2 pounds of ground beef in a big mixing bowl. We're going to put all of our other ingredients in with it and start mashing it together. I'm going to do about 3/4 of a cup of breadcrumbs. You can either use crushed up crackers or toast, tore up, but I'm going to go the easy route and use the breadcrumbs. Also going to add 2 eggs. ¼ cup of milk. About ¼ cup of ketchup. About 1 tablespoon of woolly chest hair sauce. Then about 1/2 to 2/3 of a teaspoon of salt. About the same for black pepper. And a teaspoon of red cayenne pepper. Now we're going to add all of our pepper, tomato, and onion ingredients. Now you're saying, J-Ray, it looks like you've got everything in there. Au contraire. We've had contributions from most farm animals. Our ground beef from the cows, our eggs from the chickens. But now, I'm going to add something you don't usually see in meatloaf. And that's bacon from the pigs. Oh yeah, that just happened. And to offset some of the spicy with a little bit of sweet, we're going to add a little bit of brown sugar. 1 tablespoon. Now some people like to dig their hands into this and just smash everything together, but I'm going to use a spoon to try to mix most of it, to try to keep it a little bit light and fluffy so that it's not too hard. Just like that. Work all your ingredients in. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it'll be very worth it. Alright, so I've got about a 6-cup baking dish here. Should be enough to hold all this. We'll find out. Oh, it's going to be close. It is going to be close. But one thing about this, it will not get any bigger. And just to be on the safe side, I'll put a pan under it to catch any kind of grease that starts to spill over. And just to make sure that you get a good even cook and that you don't burn your corners and have raw in the middle, just make sure and push your corners out and try to make it as level as you can. Don't leave it all wadded up and mounded in the middle. Don't want to leave any of these ingredients on the spoon. And whatever you do, don't lick the spoon. You'll be up all night. So we're going to put this in the oven at 350 for about 40 minutes. Then we're going to bump it up to 400 for about 10 minutes. Take it out. We're going to add our glaze to it, which I'll show you how to make in just a minute. And then do 10 more minutes to kind of bake the glaze on. And it'll be all done. Okay, it's been 40 minutes, so we're going to change our temperature. Turn it up to 400, and now we're going to get started on the glaze. So I'm going to get about half a cup of ketchup. About a tablespoon of mustard. And about maybe a teaspoon, not quite as much, of sriracha sauce. Now we're going to blend all that together. And after a brief taste test off screen, we're going to add some more sriracha. And stir it in. Alright, it's been going for about 50 minutes now. Look how amazing that is. But it's not done yet. Now, the internal temperature of a meatloaf should reach about 160 degrees when it's done. So, I've got a meat probe. And we're going to find out exactly how hot it is in the middle. So, depending on where you poke it here, we're getting different readings. But it's going to go in for another 10 minutes, and I might even let it have 15 just to make sure it's good and done. Let's get that glaze on there now. Don't be afraid to make a mess. And you know what? If it's not enough glaze, you can always make some more. That was just right. Now let's put that back in the oven to bake that glaze on. Alright. It's been a total of an hour plus a couple extra minutes. And look at that. Absolutely beautiful meatloaf. Now we're going to let this rest for at least 15 to 20 minutes before we even start cutting into it. And that may not even be enough. This is one hot loaf of meat. And let's go ahead and check the internal temperature too while we're at it. Oh yeah, we're good. Okay, we've been letting this sit for a while. It's cool enough to touch. Slice us off a hunk of this. Oh. Yeah. First one's always the messiest. And I want you to look at that. Oh, it looks so juicy. Get the glaze. You see the peppers and onions. That's going to be delicious. Let's try it. Here it is. Kickin Meatloaf. Very delicious. Got just enough spice, not too much. I could even take it spicier. And just remember, if you don't like spicy, you can leave all the spicy ingredients that I listed out. Or you can use more, use less, whatever you like. But try this today. It's really good. All the flavors just come together so well. You taste the spice, just a hint of the bacon. Very savory. Very savory. I can't get enough. It's going to make some mean leftovers too. Now I'm going to finish this and I'm going to go to bed. See you next time on J-Ray's Kitchen.